Good morning. Good morning. It is 2:38 a.m. I'm on my way to the gym right now. I was thinking about something this morning, and it's a real cold reality, but it's a healing reality. And what I was thinking is that every time there's an issue or a problem, it's super simple. It's the easiest thing to blame it on somebody else, to hold somebody else accountable for it, to push the blame, to take no responsibility. I think that's the natural reaction for us all. And I had to pray this morning because there were some things that were coming up, but I had to really kind of look at myself. Now, truth is, there's going to be opportunities and times when maybe it is somebody else's problem. But you always want to make sure that the things like within inside of you, within inside of me, those things are pure. Those things are right. The intention behind it is right, and that you're not acting out of some type of immoral way, maybe hate or fear or anger or whatever the case may be, why you might decide or why you might need to move in a direction. And the hardest thing to do is say, hey, correct me. The hardest thing to do is say, correct me, or identify the fact that it's me who has the problem. I was listening to something and it was talking about how there's things within inside of yourself that you need to be in control over in order to be at peace with whatever's going on in your life. And one is your sexual urges, and then I think the second one was going to be your need to give your opinion, and then your ego. These were all things that if you were able to keep them in check, you would always be able to look at a situation or something going on with an objective perspective versus an opinion or in a judgmental kind of way. And the only reason I'm bringing all this up is because there's been things that I need to say or things I need to do, and I need to really examine the reasons why I need to say or the reasons why I want to do them. And are those reasons in order to satisfy something inside of me, something I'm not doing, or are those needs in order to help somebody else see where they can be better? So what's that saying? If you're not building up, you're tearing down. If you're not with me, you're against me. So what side of the coin are you on when you're offering your advice? What side of the coin are you on when you're telling somebody how you feel, or you're directing or guiding somebody? Are you trying to build them up? And sometimes when the emotions are involved, you're not thinking about building up or whatever. You're just thinking about, I need to resolve this because this makes me feel. And when we go into that me state of mind, then we go into a very selfish state of mind, and we're no longer trying to figure out what's best for us. And prayer always is last. That's so insane. The one thing we go to after we've worried, feared, stressed out, asked everybody we could to borrow the money, the last thing we go to is prayer. And he says, let that be the first thing. And says it to a degree where he says, pray without ceasing, which means pray without giving up, pray without stopping. Keep going. Don't relent. Don't give up. Don't stop. but it's the last thing that we'll do. And I got a feeling, I think that's why a lot of us are in very bad situations. Listen, I'm not above that. Sometimes I gotta catch myself and be like, hold up, dude, you got another way, you got a way that you can resolve and solve all this. And even I sometimes miss the call. Even I don't always go to prayer when there's a problem. I gotta catch myself because I be in mid-human mode. I gotta slow down and be like, hold up. Now, me and my wife were talking about yesterday about how important it is to be in church, or how important it is to be in your word. And the reason why, and it's not for the reasons that most people who don't go to church don't go because they believe that the pastors want all their money, the church is just trying to take all their money. Most people believe that they don't need to be in a church in order to have God. Like, some of the reasons, and I know this because I was one of those people that wasn't in the church, so I can say this. And I doubt that there's somebody who doesn't go to church who would refute what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't need God, and because God's in me, and wherever I'm at, there's the church, and all they want is my money because the pastor just wants to buy a brand new car, etc., etc., etc. But let me paint this picture. Imagine your job, your company is having a meeting. And we know that in these meetings, they're speaking about the transition and the advancement of the company, of the employees, of the future, the goals. And let's say that you decide, hey, I'm going to blow off the meeting. I'm just not going to go to any of the meetings. And you keep seeing everybody else advancing. And you keep wondering, how do they keep moving forward and I'm standing still? It's because they're privileged to information that's being shared at the meeting that's allowing them to make a decision based on the advancement of where the company is saying they want to go and the opportunities that they say they have available. Because you never showed up, you didn't know what was available. Because you didn't show up, you didn't know of the opportunities. Because you didn't show up, you didn't know what the vision was. Now, unless you're at home in your word, which I doubt, you don't know what God's vision is. You don't know what the advancement of the kingdom is. You don't know even what the tricks the devil plays, so you fall victim to him every single time. Every time. And one of the tricks of the devil is how you react to other people. When your emotions versus your spiritual discernment get in the way of a course correction when you're trying to get your brother or your sister back on the right line, on the right path. It's important. There's things being talked about at church that are letting me know what to watch for. that allow me to be a better leader. And to love more. It also tells me that if I want to fix the problem, sometimes I don't have to look any further than the person I look at in the mirror every single day. And after I've addressed that individual, then I can move on and say, okay, we've addressed this. Now let's move on to what's next and get it done. And it works.